the tape in the main event.
What can you highlight but the experience of Marloes Coenen? 30 professional fights. Julia Budd just 9-2.
All right, we've gone over the rules in the back. I want you to protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. I want you to fight hard but fight clean. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
Ready? Go.
Against Cris Cyborg, immediately what Marloes Coenen tried to do is get the fight up against the fence and use the clinch. That's why. Look at that. Talk about strength. Julia Budd's got it.
Get your head up. Pass, you know what she's going to do there. You don't know. Tight position. There you go. Now, let's work on bicep control. Bicep control. Put her head on the cage.
You see here, Julia Budd's not able to use that ground and pound. She's busy worrying about the submission attack of Marloes Coenen. That's why she's not really getting busy with ground and pound. She's worried about getting submitted. She's getting her posture broken down. Marloes Coenen so far being effective from her back. This round is a nightmare to
Same
score.
thing we already worked on, Jules. Just keep it right there,
Exactly what I was thinking, because Marloes Coenen has it where she wants it.
30 seconds.
But is she doing enough with it?
She's going to try to go for something last 30.
Julia Budd hasn't been able to do that much with the ground and pound either.
Keep out, boys. Watch your other arm. Keep her head on the cage. Okay, Jules. Here we go. Keep her against the feet. Head position. 10 seconds, Jules. Just keep it right there. Keep it right there. Keep it right there. Put her head against the feet. Yes. Put pressure on that. Stop. There you go.
In rounds two, what was the message from Lance Gibson to his wife, Julia Budd?
Don't get your head buried. Keep your head high. Do not land in her guard if you don't have to. Try to pass. You don't have to sit in her guard. Free that head. Those were her two instructions. Easy takedown. Ridiculously easy.
This time from the side. She made sure to take her down and not go into the guard. Marloes Coenen, where she spent her coach.
Exactly.
Now, you said it was a nightmare to score. I went very reluctant 10-9 for Marloes Coenen.
Very reluctant 10-9 for Marloes Coenen, but she was effectively trying to finish fight. Now going north-south.
Yeah, with the strike of Julia Budd too.
Keep on the backwards elbows.
Miesha Tate, and last year the upset from Alexis Dufresne, the only time Marloes Coenen had been submitted in her 30 professional fights in his 17-year career.
The Kimura.
Backward elbow. Tight position. Jules, tight position.
This is where Marloes Coenen talked about connecting the dots. That she is seeing 3 or 4 moves beyond where Julia Budd is seeing right now. That's how she sees it. Julia Budd going dark.
Stay on top. Stay on top. Stay on top. You know what to do,
what
man.
she wants.
Stay on top. Knee to shoulder. Knee to shoulder.
A little too far. Use it effectively.
Stop her head down. Stop her head down and punch. Stop her head. Have you on the
Left arm is in a good position to defend.
Have trust. Have trust. Under a quick over. Beautiful. Great job.
Power her down.
So now I want some damage to you. Need a body.
Julia Budd, when she pulled out this fight the first time in May, a debilitating back injury that wasn't just the end of that fight. It could easily have been the end of her career. She stared into the eyes of her career being over. That's one of the reasons she seems like a new woman in a new fight.
There you go, Jules. Now I want your pass.
Pull the head down and angle her. Now, you're right now where we spent a lot of round one. The difference is Julia Budd was much more successful leading up to this. She baked some good minutes, now going for the goal.
Pass to the side. Throw those right. Throw those legs. Head up. Posture. Posture. Elbows in. Posture up. Reach around your head again. Chin it out. Don't let it in. Stick together.
Julia Budd has kept her head up a lot more, which is what she was coached to do in between rounds.
Hold control, Marloes. There you go.
We gotta make her quit. We gotta work.
She's swinging far more towards the way Julia Budd wanted this to go.
There we go. That's good, Jules. Let's go. Keep it up. Let's work your pass right. Good tight position. Good.
Subtlety is not a word we use in this sport often. No. Yet. The first 2 rounds have taken place in the exact same spot in the cage, and yet it really has been night and day as far as who is dictating.
Right, let's put her head on the
Not only is Julia dictating more in the guard, before it got to the guard, she got the takedown, she got around the guard, she had some success on top.
30 seconds, Jules. Great job. You're doing awesome.
This is a Julia Budd kind of round.
Watch yourself. Watch
Taking out the
yourself.
strength breath. This is
Those legs coming up high. You
physical
don't
pressure
right when that happens,
that
right?
Marlies Kuhn now has to deal with.
Shoulders high. Elbows down.
Towards the end of round 2, Julia Budd has never been in the championship rounds.
Nothing there.
Marlies Kuhn, this is her 6th championship fight.
Beautiful. Great job, Jules. She wants to quit. Great work, Jules. Great job.
You ready? Get up.
Are we even through 2?
I haven't even through 2. The first round really close. Would not surprise me. A judge, or more than one judge, has us 2-0 so far for Julia Budd.
Some of those shots and having no effect whatsoever.
What I'm not understanding tactically about what Marlies is doing, she landed some good strikes, and she initiated the clinch to end up in this position against a much stronger opponent with a
Stay there.
bear in mind, she initiated that clinch.
Bring her up to me. Watch your arm. Watch your arm. Watch your arm.
Times out of 10.
Reach around up there.
Marlies Kuhn gets an underhook on that side. On the same side, she has her instant hook. She gets a sweep and her counts now. Julia Budd just a different animal.
Julia Budd doing what she wants to do on the ground. I don't think she minds the stand-up. Marlies Kuhn in the time clinch from Julia Budd. Tentativeness, the hesitation we've seen from Julia Budd in the past, not tonight there.
Okay, let's finish her now,
There
Jules.
won't be full guard here.
49 seconds, you can finish her. Great job, Jules. 49 seconds, you can finish her.
Separation here.
Hard. Hey, Jules, let's unload on her now. She's the one that called you mentally weak, Julia. You finished her.
Just joining us, we're sitting in on some history now. The inaugural Women's World Title in Bellator history at 145.
Come on, babe. Finish her. Finish her. Watch your arm on this side. Keep her down.
We thought
Start drawing
Marlies
some
Kuhn
damage.
probably won on the ground.
There you go.
This
Up
has
the
been Julia
side,
Budd's fight the last 2
Up
rounds.
on the thigh.
Her husband says she called you
Rain for
mentally
damage.
weak.
Watch her here. Watch her
She's the
leg
one
in
who
the cage. Pull her up in the
finish her
cage.
now. And they're right in
15
front of that
seconds.
corner.
15 seconds. Julia.
Marlies can
Watch
hear
your
all
arm.
of that.
Watch your arm. Unload some, Jules. Unload. 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 Stand up. Unload. Stand up. Unload. Go. 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 Yeah, Julia.
Bellator Women's
Unload.
Champion will now go to the championship rounds. It's not always easy.
Get off.
It's not supposed to be.
I think the difference psychologically in this fight is you hear her husband coach saying, finish her this round, finish her this round, finish her this round. And she's more aggressive every time. It's almost like in saying she's going to finish, she might not finish, but she's going to try to finish. She's going to put more energy, more emphasis into it, and she's been much more aggressive throughout this fight.
That's the difference. Julia Budd talked to us the other day about our commentary in her previous fights when, as you know, Julia Budd's fans would get frustrated. Her coach and her would get frustrated, and we would get frustrated. And what I said the last time we saw was there are times Julia Budd does not believe or remember that she's Julia Budd and she can do all these things. Tonight she's putting it all
Get
together.
her legs off the cage. Good.
Just say easy takedown.
Unload hard.
Easy look.
Now Marlies Kuhn has got problems.
Keep going. Keep going.
Julia Budd pulling it out. Does she see the finish line?
Keep going. Keep going.
Marlies Kuhn is trying to defend herself.
Keep going. Keep going. Elbow. Elbow. Elbow.
That means it's near the end.
John McCarthy gave her the warning.
Yes. Elbow.
Julia Budd got one of his elbows through.
Yes. Open her up. Let her up, Joe. Get her up, Joe.
Holding it all the years, all the win, all the waiting for this opportunity.
Big John giving her the time to get back in. That's the reason why she's kind of going. Not a lot of those have gotten through.
Okay, there. Just keep on doing it. Open her feet. Now move her hands out the way.
Julia is expending if she doesn't get
Move
the
her
finish right
legs
now.
away from the cage. Julia. Yes, beautiful, Jules. Keep working, Jules.
You always talk about the training, Jimmy, doing that one extra work, staying awake that one extra day, so you have the energy in the tank in a fourth round of a championship fight to pull on like this.
Okay, she thinks she can tie you up. You're in good shape.
Marlies Coon has to bump. She has to do something to keep her from punching like this. As long as she keeps doing that, she's going to get stopped eventually.
Listen to me, Julia. There, good. Okay, now pick your shot.
So far, Marlies Coon
Pick your shot.
she has much left in the tank. She just
Pick your
holds her
shot.
arms up.
There. Pick it again. Nice. That body hurting you.
Not escaping this mouth.
Hook again.
Come on, Marlies, gotta move now. Let's go.
One more warning from John McCarthy. Marlies Coon in turns. Can't escape.
He's couldn't get out. Yeah, that's why. All right, sweetheart.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Big John McCarthy steps in, waves off the contest due to strikes. Official time, 2 minutes, 42 seconds into round number 4. The winner by TKO, and now Bellator's inaugural women's featherweight world champion, Julia the Jewel Bud.
Well, let's go to the tail of the tape.
Look at the record, 10-6 for Arlene Blencowe, but one of those 6 to Julia Budd. What has she picked up since then?
Fighter's gone over the rules in the back. This is for the Featherweight Championship. There are no final questions from you, Blue. There were no final questions from you. If you want to touch gloves, go ahead and do it now. Come on, ready to fight.
Lots of mutual respect between these two tremendous athletes, but it's time to leave the respect outside of the cage, Jimmy. Set for 5 5-minute rounds for Julia Budd's Bellator MMA Women's Featherweight title.
First round, Buddy, you ready? Buddy, you ready? Fight!
The champion Bud in the red gloves, the challenger Blencowe sporting the blue gloves.
One thing Julia Budd said, she said, I started out in Muay Thai, and I've kind of gotten away from that. I've become more of a grappler. I want to bring my kickboxing back in this fight.
And Blencowe saying that she wants to utilize her boxing more and closes the distance, but it's the overhook here by Bud, that the power.
Yep. What does Blencowe do from these clinch positions? Oh, good job.
Bud
Pulling
with
the Muay Thai
Thai plum and unloading those knees, blocked, but they're still getting through for Bud. She changes levels, looking for the takedown.
Nice transition. From tie clinch to takedown. Bud trying to 2-on-1 the right arm of Julia Budd to fight the takedown.
Half of Blencowe's 10 wins have come via form of knockout. She does have a submission win, but right now just trying to stop Julia Budd from securing the takedown. Meanwhile, for Budd, 4 of her 10 victories have come inside the distance via strikes. She also has a submission win. The stronger of the two athletes controlling Blencowe along the fence, but Blencowe scrappy, trying to use that whizzer.
She has to angle and get her hips off the fence. That's key. She has to turn Julia Budd, or at least circle enough to get out and get back to the center. Just playing defense here isn't good enough.
Midpoint of the opening round. Bud has Blencowe stapled to the fence.
Look how tenacious Julia Budd is with keeping Blencowe against the fence.
Making the commitment to their craft and meeting once again, this time for the biggest prize in the Bellator MMA Women's Featherweight division. Blencowe now has Bud along the fence momentarily.
Able to circle off. Surprised she didn't break off and go back to the center and got more of a grappling match.
Knee by Bud.
Back to the fence. Not where Blencowe wants to be.
And Bud trying to snatch a single on Blencowe with 30 seconds left in the first round. Now Bud pops up, but it allows Blencowe to turn the tables on the champion.
See, I'm surprised in these positions she doesn't back up and kind of break off.
Especially with her boxing pedigree.
Yep. Julia Budd, she's going to turn you in this position. You give her enough time.
They move to the center of the cage, exchanging knee strikes, slashing elbow on the exit by the champion, Julia Budd. First 5 minutes are in the books. We're scheduled for 5 for the Bellator MMA Women's Featherweight title.
Second round, Buddy, ready? Buddy, ready? Fight!
Bell goes. Again, Blanco getting the better of these exchanges.
That was the problem with women's MMA in the early days is, you know, the mismatches where, hey, doesn't matter. We need to, anyone who can fill this weight class, you get in there. It was almost like the early days of MMA.
Sure.
Yeah.
Body kick by Bud. Blanco able to get that right hand
Over the top. Those are bread and butter.
Is there too much respect for Blanco's boxing?
I think there is, but when she's in there feeling the punches, we're not.
Yep. So, well, 20 seconds left. I'll get your thoughts in the third round about how she can go about navigating her way around Blanco's boxing as we come down to the final 10 seconds. And I guess that's one way, changing levels, trying to get the takedown, and Bud secures the takedown in the final seconds of the round.
Buddy, ready. Buddy, ready.
We move to the third round. Blanco moving forward. Bud keeping her at bay with that body kick.
Because right now, if she goes for a takedown, they end up in the middle of the mat. If you flip this position around, you can go hard for the takedown. Even if you don't get it, a lot of times you can bull your opponent up against the fence. That's a good slip on the jab by Arlene Blanco.
And Blanco goes to the body, then upstairs. Nice combination that lands for Bud.
If only did come at you so fast.
Yeah, nice combination by Blanco. MMA Women's Featherweight Championship. Blanco looking to become more comfortable with her striking. Stops the takedown attempt by Bud. But the bigger Bud now, manhandling her, secures the tie. Plum delivers a knee and backs Blanco to the fence.
That's what I mean about the style. Not playing well in this position, backed against the fence. She's best when she can bully Blanco against the fence, and here we are. Right back to that standard position we've had the last couple rounds. Block that kick.
Trying to find the range. Mostly at long range, they need to get into that mid-range and at close quarters. Blanco unloads the combination, stuffs the takedown, and delivers a knee to Bud. Under 30 seconds left in the round. Another quiet round here in round 3. Say or do, but you know the
sometimes
Julia Budd's corner though made it crystal clear. They're not happy.
100%. You know, they're seeing what we're seeing, which is she's just not active enough.
And again, Blanco doing a good job of defending the takedown. Bud able to close the distance and clinch, but unable to do much. As we've seen in the past, this is where she is highly effective.
That's where she's been dominant before, and now they're up against the fence. And this time Julia Budd with her back to the fence.
Let's not forget their first meeting in October 2016 was very close. Majority decision win for Bud. And many people wondered, what if that had been a 5-round fight, Jimmy?
You know, it's funny, when I asked Arlene Blanco about that, she said, well, she might have taken me down for the next 2 rounds too. She said, my takedown defense just wasn't there.
Well, we've seen a marked improvement,
Much
and
better.
that's why a loss is not necessarily lost, Jimmy. It's a learning experience.
Exactly.
I'd like to see her fight with a little more of that attitude here as we come up on 2 minutes gone in the 4th round.
They're outside, but not landing anything significant. Good right hand finally by Blanco.
But even Blanco, she scores and it's pot shot.
Backs off. Backs off, yeah.
Body shot by Blanco scores. Under 30 seconds left in the round. Just too much real estate between them, Jimmy.
Yeah, and aside from this, the clinch early by Julia Budd, I mean, no real offense from the outside. She's not putting punches together, and
just no contact.
not at all. Almost shadow boxing.
Now Blanco trying to put an exclamation point on the round.
On a round, let me ready. Fight!
Jimmy, unofficial scorecard reads 1 after 4.
3 rounds to 1 for Arlene Blanco. Only gave Julia Budd round number 1. Last round was close, but basically because of inactivity. But when you look at who's controlling the real estate, it's Blanco.
This is when we need to go back to the prize fighting championship days. Yellow card.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yellow card.
10%.
10%. Nice counter right hand by Blanco. She'd been upset about being on the sideline for so long, waiting to defend her title. Well, here you go, main event. "15 seconds left. And it will be up to the judges to determine who walks away Bellator MMA Women's Featherweight Champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first judge, Todd Anderson, scores the fight 49-46, scoring the fight for Bud. Your second judge, Michael Bell, scores the fight 48-47. He sees the fight for Blanco. Your third and final judge at cage side, David Sutherland, scores the fight 49-46 for the winner by split decision. And still, Bellator Women's Featherweight World Champion, Julia the Jewel Budd.
Tail of tape in the main event for the Featherweight World title.
Yeah, you look at this thing up and down. Look, you got a little bit of a height advantage. And with a height advantage, generally comes a reach advantage. But not the case here. Not the case here tonight. You've got an undefeated record from Nogueira, but you got a little bit more experience for Julia Budd.
No final question from you, Red. No final question from you, Blue. Go to your corners. Come out, ready to touch. Let's fight.
Next round, Buddy, you ready? Buddy, you ready? Fight!
Well, I've only heard from other fighters. Derek Lewis just recently, he said he was very aware of it. So I think that's a real thing for these athletes. They can definitely hear they usually have their ears trained on their coaches. There's a big takedown.
Big slam. Julia Budd took her time, waited for the second leg, and planted Toledo Nogueira.
Nogueira said this is where she wants to be. Julia Budd said, fine, let's get there.
And this was the point.
They're very oh, she's trapped the arm. I did not see that till now. Nogueira's going to have to move. She's sacrificing position, but she needs to. This is the right choice here by Nogueira.
Julia Budd takes the opportunity to try to get under the chin.
I don't think she has it, Sean. I think she's too far off to the side.
There's a veteran. She knew she didn't have it the first time. It's more of a neck crank here.
I don't know that she's looking for a submission or she's just trying to protect her position, almost like defensive a takedown. She's trying to turn Nogueira's face away. She's succeeding at it.
A dominant round 1 for the champion once she got going, and she finishes strong.
Buddy, you ready? Fight!
We talk about the 2 Julia Budds. We saw the confident world champion in round 1.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Look, Nogueira said, don't you dare go to the ground with me. Julia said, oh, I'm going to the ground with you, all right.
Man, random. It's funny, we talk about the losses because they stand out because of who they were, but you don't talk about the wins, which are, which is everybody else that she has fought.
Does she have a win over the Iron Lady?
She does. What do you tell Nogueira here at the end of round 2?
Look, this is on her. And even if the crowd's saying, why is Julia not doing more? Julia is dominating positions. She's using strength. She's using energy. You see the sweat rolling down her. She's really working hard here, but she also understands, I'm on the offense.
Nasty elbow thrown by Julia Budd.
Big
Nogueira crumbles to the canvas, and Julia Budd now smelling the finish line. Pouring it on.
Oh, and
she's got the arm hooks. The right arm is helpless of Nogueira. She's got her head under the left arm, and Nogueira Almost defenseless. Jason Herzog taking a very close look here.
It was a big left knee that sent Nogueira down. I think she went down to try to recover, knew if she got enough points on the ground, she would at least have to deal with the knees, but now she has to deal with this position. Oh, the arm's trapped again. You know, we used to call that position the Salvary because Ivan Salvary made that famous, but it's just devastating. I don't think Julia Budd is going to be able to get a stoppage here, but she can rack up some points.
Toledo Nogueira hanging on, and I mean hanging on for dear life here as we reach the end of round 2.
All right, look at this. This is the replay. We're going to see a big knee coming up here in just a minute. Julia Budd distracts her a little bit, uses that underhook to pull Nogueira's arm away, leaving her body wide open. Nogueira crumpled here. I believe she might have gone down, Sean, because under the rule system, it at least protect her from knees.
Look at the eyes of Julia Budd. She is on the hunt right now.
Yeah, I was actually watching her in her corner between rounds. She was very fresh. She was up. She was bouncing. You could see it in her eyes. You could see it in her face. She has plenty of gas left in the tank.
Probably some discussion. I wouldn't be surprised if a judge or 2 or 3 went 10-8 during round 2.
Certainly
that got
could.
close at the end.
Yep, and that knee definitely counts as dropping your opponent.
Some fight-ending moments in those final seconds. The world champion at the top of her game, in the prime of her career right now. She has put on a show.
Wow.
A devastating feeling when everything that has worked for you to get here is no longer working, and here comes the champ again.
And look at that head position. She just drives her into that fence. Nogueira's got multiple battles, but before she can mount them, she has to deal with the first one, which is getting her chin back, getting her head level.
Julia Budd trying that same attack, trying to get that left knee up in there, get it down to the ground. Dominant position this time earlier in the round. Her coach, her husband, Lance Gibson, barking out the instructions, use that head.
Push off, Jules. Push off and use your kickboxing. Push it off.
Oh,
Too
Nogueira
strong.
goes down. I think she turned her hips, tried to do like a judo throw. That fence is not going to help her. Julia Budd can engage here. She's choosing to keep distance, but she could also choose to come in and engage.
Everything has worked, and she steps through and nails Toledo Nogueira.
Pulls the leg one way, throws it straight the other way. Very good technique.
This is checkers and chess right now.
And this is where Nogueira said she wanted to be. She does have a very good guard. She, in fact, will even use the rubber guard at times where she'll use her flexibility and pull her legs up. She's not able to do anything here because Julia won't stop attacking. As long as you can keep your opponent on the defense, they can't mount an offense.
Where has there been a couple of early leg kicks? Has there been any offense since from Toledo Nogueira?
Julia can post on the face if she wanted to, start to set up some elbow attacks. Remember the success that Tito Ortiz and Randy Couture both had at pinning somebody into the fence and using those elbows.
Boy, it really looked like Tito Ortiz in a similar spot was going to get Liam McGeary in that world title fight, and then Liam caught him. Got the submission. And Nogueira, desperation attempt, not even close.
Now that was actually a great defense by Julia Budd, as simple as that looked. When she thought her leg was...
Oh, these are big shots.
Very big shots. When she thought her leg was going to be manipulated there, she just stood up and changed the position. Just said, okay, let's start over from scratch. Now she's re-engaged. Okay, big pressure here again. She's got her head exactly where she wants it in terms of using the fence against her. And again, Sean, if Nogueira can get her shoulders or her back to the fence, now the fence is working with her. But when it's your neck and head, you're stuck.
Jason Herzog is telling Toledo Nogueira, yeah, you got to get up. There is a gleam in the eye and a killer instinct right now in the world champion that we have not seen.
Sean, I'm catching that as well. Her face does look different. Her expression does look different. And that's called a roll, right? When the snowball starts going downhill, it only gains steam.
Strong left, backs up Nogueira. There was a mess and a monster right. drives into the canvas. Julia Budd
come on,
still in the
Ref,
finish
that's
line, and it's over. A truly dominant performance from a world champion in her prime.
Oh, see, and these kicks were a bit of a surprise. She started to use those kicks. We thought she was going to chop away. She ended up using it as a distraction to use this big, straight leg kick, distraction, boom, to the setup. That put Nogueira down. That was the beginning of the end. Look, I really thought that Nogueira was valiant tonight. I do feel compelled to include that to you. She was plenty tough. She never showed her skills, though. She simply never got going. Not because she came in unprepared, because Julia Budd was a step ahead, because she was relentless, because she was distracting, bothering, annoying, and attacking at all times of this fight.
A symphony of violence conducted perfectly and flawlessly by Julia Budd.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, referee Jason Herzog steps in, waves off the contest due to unanswered strikes. Official time, 4 minutes, 7 seconds into round number 3. The winner by TKO and still Bellator Women's Featherweight World Champion, Julia the Jewel Budd.
Our tail of the tape for this, our main event of the evening. 36-year-old champion against 29-year-old challenger. You can see a beautiful record by both. 12-2 for Julia, 6-0 undefeated for Olga Rubin. Is that age difference gonna matter? Let's get this thing started.
Fighters, gone over the rules in the back. There were no final questions from you, Blue. There were no final questions from you, Red. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Come out ready to fight.
The Jewel out of Port Moody, British Columbia, Canada. You see the belt? It's on the line once again. Tel Aviv, Israel's Olga Rubin wants to take it across the sea, and here we go!
Everything you're going to see in the beginning is about getting that feel of foot position. Both girls are going to be trying to kind of step outside of that lead leg. And so it's going to be a push. You're going to see them kind of moving themselves, and it's going to be a push actually towards the referee, Jason Herzog, right now. And who can establish that outside position? Because whoever does is going to be able to land either that straight left or straight right hand.
That time, Olga caught the leg for a moment, tried to return fire with the left. Juan Archuleta rooting for the champion, Julia Budd. She certainly has been on fire, but you know what, Juan? So have you, my friend. And we look forward to your fight against the champion, Patricio Pitbull.
Yeah, it was the last fight of Julia Budd against Nogueira that you look and you go, and she's starting to get it. She's starting to realize how good she is. She's feeling comfortable in there. And that confidence, when you have a nice kick by Julia Budd, you have that confidence, you become so much more relaxed in the fight, which just makes the fight easier.
And her comment afterwards, John, was, I put everything together for the first time in my 14th professional fight, and this is a fighter with a 12-2 record.
Exactly. You know, right now you're seeing both girls. I said that Olga Rubin needs to back Julia Budd up. If she can get Julia Budd to back up, that's an important part of her winning this fight. Right now she's trying. She's trying to put that pressure, and you see Julia is not giving any kind of space on it. She's sticking to her ground. This is going to be interesting to see how this all this movement starts to come about and see what happens. That was a
big shot. Trouble. This could be it. Body shot hurt Rubin. The finish is here, and it is all over.
That's what we're talking about.
Like that, Julia Budd.
Let's watch this kick. You're going to see it come straight up. That back leg straight to the diaphragm. You see her, that hand covering up, and she's just biting down, trying to get air. It's not coming into her lungs at that point. Her body is seizing up. You can see it. The toes and the ball of the foot landed beautifully, exactly like you would teach it. And here come the punches. and she just cannot stop anything she's trying. It's a horrible position to be in. What a beautiful performance by the Jewel, Julia Budd. Another knee to the body, that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it comes to an end officially inside the Bellator cage. 2 minutes, 14 seconds into round number 1. The winner by TKO and still Bellator Featherweight World Champion, Julia the Jewel Budd.
All right, you've been over the rules already. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves now if you want. At the sound of the bell, come on out, handle your business. Let's go. Ready to fight? Ready to fight? Hell, let's go.
Here we go. Cyborg in the blue gloves, Budd in the red gloves. To the body early.
Bad move by Julia. You saw Cris push her towards the cage, and right away Julia gets the clinch, turns her into the cage. This is where she needs to be.
This is the type of things that you need to do to control the pace, control the distance. Make sure you don't get hit shots with shots like that.
And make sure you don't take the knee on the way out, right?
Nice exit by Cris, and beautiful trick takedown. Being on the bottom is not a good thing for Julia. She doesn't have that bottom game where she's real dangerous. She is a top game fighter.
Cris Cyborg, believe it or not, has never won by submission. They're back up.
How often do you see someone just pop up like that? That's the physical size of Julia Budd, able to get back to her feet against Cyborg.
It was very impressive when you think about how she did that.
This is where Julia Budd needs to keep the fight high up on the underhook, against the fence, doing work, knee in the legs, slowing Cyborg down. Don't try to force the takedown.
If you did not have a fight against Cris Cyborg, she said no way. She's had goals that have nothing to do with the belt, but those goals have led her to become a world champion. The title holder for nearly 3 years, Julia Budd, 3 minutes into this fight.
Cris landed a very nice knee to the body there.
Big right hand though by Julia, she stepped in.
The slip by Cyborg after the kick.
Or that triangle, she's got to get that other hand inside, and she needs to pull her arm out. Get the head out.
It is not in a position right now where she's in trouble. That has got a lot of space, but Julia needs to be careful. That posturing of the head would be very important right now. Going for the arm.
She needs to stack her. She needs to keep her stacked. Nice throw to the head.
Beautiful job by Julia. Remain calm. Slides to the side.
Nice job on the crossface, keeping her back flat to the mat.
Yeah, she needs to get that hip down.
She's a switcher hits actually towards her legs.
Yep.
Stay and face her. Chest down. See, the problem is for a lot of people is they stay up on their knees. They need to actually just lay flat, put their hips over their face.
Good goal for
Julia Budd continues to apply pressure. The knee.
She was trying to knee the shoulder. She may have touched the head, but that was not something she was trying to knee the head of a grounded fighter.
You can't be kneeing the head.
I'm not saying that it didn't touch.
You cannot be kneeing the head. All right? Cyborg, are you okay? Yes? Okay. Come on over here, guys. Let's go.
Head absolutely.
Right on the button.
Absolutely right on the button.
Cris shakes it off. The fight continues.
Like it's nothing.
Yep.
Gotta love Cris Cyborg. She's just here to fight.
And she comes out swinging after that. Heavy leg kick. 45 seconds left in round 1.
Oh,
She fires away.
Big right hand by Cris. This is where Cris becomes very dangerous. On top, she is explosive.
Julia Budd needs to control the posture of Cris Cyborg right here.
She's doing that. She's doing a good job. Nice and relaxed.
20 seconds left in the round, so she just really honestly, well, she's done a good job in this round. She's maybe try to create a little bit of space, try to get it back to the fence, or she can just hold for the rest of the round.
Well, she has done a good job, but she just took a shot to put her on her butt.
The up kick from Julia Budd. Some hammer fists from Cyborg, round 1 in the books. Marlos Kunin. Cyborg fought her twice. Julia Budd defeated Marlos Kunin to become the inaugural Bellator Featherweight World Champion. Big John, who gets round 1?
No, it was a very close round, but there were some things that happened in that, and I give Cris Cyborg round 1, 10-9.
And she comes out extremely aggressive here at the beginning of round number 2.
Nice job going behind. Julia tried to get that Uchimata. Did not work. Cris slipped right behind her. And that's the difference. That's why Cris Cyborg won that round 10-9 on my scorecard. She just landed the better shots overall. But again, this is not a sprint. It can be that marathon, and you get into the 5th round, all that work that Julia's trying to do, that will add up.
Cris Cyborg scheduled for 5 rounds, 13 times. Julia scheduled for 5 rounds, 4 times. Beginning with that title fight, of course, that we talked about with Marlos Kunin. Rarely have either of them gone the full 25.
Julia getting opened up a little bit as far as her hands are starting to flail off the side. She needs to be careful.
Julia's worried too much a little bit about the striking, when she should be worried about getting an underhook and elevating it and turning her Cyborg to the fence. And now what she needs here, there she goes. She needs to circle her back off the fence so she doesn't end up there again. Start trying to circle back to the center so she can put Cyborg's back to the fence. She's breathing pretty heavy right now. You see her mouth is open.
Both of them are breathing kind of heavy. I think it is. There's so much pressure. There is an adrenaline dump. And you've got to get through that.
That's a nice little push kick there. That's it. To me, I feel like that's a better use of her tools against Cyborg. Keeps her further away, so there's less chance of her closing that distance and landing a big punch.
Julia's making a mistake. That arm is getting up around the head instead of shooting for that underhook.
You see Ed Root there in her corner trying to whisper her, tell her to lift the underhook.
Exactly. Let him hold the head, get that underhook. That's going to get your position.
What's Yaroslav Amosov saying?
Try to understand, it's in Russian.
Go for the knee, head center, watch your hip drop.
And what you're seeing, Cris is starting to win the positioning war. You're seeing Julia having mistakes as far as bringing her hand up high over the head. She needs to always work towards getting that underhook. That's what's going to work for her.
Good shots from Cyborg. Couple of knees from that clinch position. Under a minute on the clock here. Both of these women have complete games, shooting for the takedown right on cue.
Nice on that snatch single. What she needs to do, she needs to pull her away and step behind or get her feet moving.
Another good knee from Cris Cyborg, John.
Nice response. You see that Cris not only fought off the takedown, but left her with the reminder of you don't want to do that.
To his wife, the champion.
Let's go.
Saying you have got to believe in yourself. Big John, your scorecard.
Scorecard at this point, I have Cris Cyborg up 2 rounds to nothing.
Her flow in that first round.
If that illegal knee didn't happen, it's very possible she could have won that round.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is a huge stage. Huge. Doesn't matter who. For both women. For both women. For Cyborg, it's her first fight in Bellator. You know, you want to perform. You want to show that the money you signed for is the money that you deserve. She should be gaining more and more confidence. That's all her husband was trying to remind her.
That's exactly it. Do you believe in yourself or not?
Well,
it's mental at this point.
One of the hardest things, if you're Cris Cyborg, is you're always that one with the target. And Julia Budd being the champion, she had that target on her with every other person. Now she finally had to have someone that she could put a target on. Putting it on, Cris Cyborg saying, I'm going to prove that I can beat you. That's something that's good for your motivation in the fight.
Close guard. Under 2 minutes left in round 3.
What she needs to do is put her feet on the hips. She doesn't want to be underneath her like this. She's got to put the feet on the hips and kick her back. Get up from there. Cannot afford to hang out with your hands behind your head like she's doing right now. I hate seeing fighters do that. It drives me absolutely crazy because that's a jiu-jitsu move. You see top jiu-jitsu guys sometimes do that, like, I'm so good on the bottom, I don't have to worry about you passing my guard. In the meantime, She just missed her punches. She has missed her opportunity to get back to her feet.
And she just passed her guard.
Yes, right into side control.
Julia Budd was finished by Amanda Nunes in her second professional fight. Last seconds of this round, big ground and pound from Cyborg.
You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Hell, let's go.
The champ in the red gloves, the challenger in the blue gloves.
Basically doubling what Julia's been able to put out.
Nice chop to behind. There's some more. Look at that. He's in trouble on this one. And the knees, more hands.
He is in trouble, Mike.
Big trouble.
Big shot again.
This is the Cyborg that we have watched.
Body shot heard.
And it is all over. Cris Cyborg. It's the Bellator Featherweight World Champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end officially. 1 minute, 14 seconds into round number 4. The winner by TKO, and now the new Bellator Featherweight World Champion, Cris Cyborg.
Ladies, come on. All right, this is 5 rounds under the unified rules of mixed martial arts. We went over those rules in the back. I want a good, clean fight. If you'd like to touch gloves now. Best of luck to you both.
Ready to fight?
Let's go.
Here we go. Tonight's fight clock presented by Geico. Red gloves for Cyborg, blue gloves for Blanco.
Can we talk for a second about the stare down? That gave me chills. I don't want to stare down either one of them.
I said at the top of the show, they are vicious and venomous strikers. And this has the potential of being a fight that we will remember for a very long time. A lot of kicks early from Cris Cyborg.
Both ladies are coming out doing exactly what we talked about in our keys victory. Look at what Blanco's doing, trying to hold the center of the cage. Look at what Cris is doing, starting to eat up that front leg with kicks.
Inside that circle. You saw in the beginning of this portion. This is where she does not want to be.
This is exactly what I was talking about with Cyborg. You watch when she goes against a good striker, most of the time, she will work her way to inside, getting inside as far as double unders, pushing them to the cage, and beating them up, hitting the legs with shots with knees, pushing them to the ground, using ground and pound. She is very strong physically, and she uses that to her advantage.
Personal experience. I'm in a commercial with her, and I can tell you, I can attest, she's extremely, extremely strong.
Talking about inside fighting, this dirty boxing, inside fighting, nice sweep away to bring her down. All of this is, there is so much technique that is actually applied. People don't, they think that, oh, it's not that difficult. A lot of really good grapplers throughout her career.
Believe it or not, though, John, she's never She's so vicious with her hands.
With her hands, she's just hands and elbows. This is right in bad position for Arlene. She really needs to work and get herself at least back to the counter if she can.
In heavy.
And there's a lot of time on the clock.
I've always been against trying to hold and hug from that bottom position. You need to be pushing on the hips. As soon as they go to posture up, start pushing on those hips and making space.
Swerving back.
If you're trying to strike,
Good job of Blanco to at least get herself back up to her knees. Keep herself from being brought back down, getting her hips flat and her legs up in the air.
Chris is a little high, so if Arlene Blanco was to tripod up and shake a little bit, she might be able to get her off.
You see Cris controlling the arms, pulling herself back.
Get to that. She needs to get her, get to her hands. So she's trying to wiggle off that other hook. When someone posts their hands, you should be trying to choke them. When they start to choke, then that means that they can't. They're going to defend or they're going to get choked.
Volta pouquinho, ajusta.
What Cris did, she actually put her in half Nelson to keep her head down. Anyone would know that if you're trying to get up and your head is pointed down, it's a lot harder than it seems.
Faz ela carregar o teu peso, campeão. Isso! Que pariu! Puta que pariu, campeão. Isso. Chama o peso nela. Deixa ela trabalhar. Você sair, já sai pegando no pescoço, Cris. 15 segundos.
The best man in
Vamos dar uma blitz agora, falta 10.
gentlemen.
10 seconds.
Says it all. Round one, a dominant one for the champ. Training and mentally putting together a friendship that she said has given her some insight to Cris Cyborg, because Holly Holm is the person who took Cris Cyborg
Isso!
5 minutes.
Olha quanta coisa boa você fez,
The champ in the red,
Ela
the
não viu
champ
de
in the
chute
blue.
esquerda ainda, hein?
Cris was to rush her blitzer.
Drop the cage.
Cris Cyborg.
Take the center. Take the center.
Blanco has not been stopped.
Vai pegar no chão! Levanta aí,
Agora é a sua! Vai, ó, a mão dela no taco! A gente vai chegar, ela vai entregar isso!
All Cyborg so far.
Give the legs down.
Carry all the weight. Put the shoulder pressure in the chin. She's holding at the neck there and doing damage. She looks for the right to step in any moment, John.
She is taking some heavy shots.
Watch your fingers, Chris.
Chris switches some of those blows with the elbows. It's going to have a huge effect on this fight right now.
I want to see Arlene probably take her feet to the fence and try and use that type of escape where she runs her feet along the fence and try and bridge her over. Because right now she's turning the wrong way, which is giving her a back.
Could Cris Cyborg defend her title with her first career win by submission?
She's going to get it right now. Right as she's slipping in, there's a lot of weight on
Stop! It's all over! Just like that! Cris Cyborg! Her first career win by submission! She defends her Featherweight World Championship!
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the tap by way of a rear naked choke officially. 2 minutes, 36 seconds into round number 2. She is the winner by submission and still Bellator Featherweight World Champion Cris Cyborg.
All right, ladies, been through the rules in the locker room. Want to obey my commands at all time. Want you to protect yourselves at all time. You ready to touch gloves? Back to your corners. Good luck to both of you. Let's go, ladies.
The sequel between Cris Cyborg, the champion in the red gloves, and challenger Leslie Smith in the blue gloves is underway. The adjustments that they have made since this first meeting 5 years ago.
Great right hand to the body by Cris Cyborg, but this is the difference between what we're seeing Cris Cyborg compared to when she did fight Leslie Smith 5 years ago. She is a much more patient, relaxed fighter that doesn't just get into this marauder, throw left, right, left, right.
There she's throwing up effective left rights and the left hook on the exit. You know she had suffered the knockout loss to Amanda Nunes, and a loss is supposed to be a learning experience, and she has learned and made adjustments since then.
Look, the very best have lost. Michael Jordan lost. Tom Brady has lost. Take a look at all the people that are at the pinnacle of their sport. They've all lost. Cris Cyborg,
Good job! Good job! You got that left kick to the head as well! Now chop the tree!
Left uppercut by Smith.
Tyson! We gotta go down!
Guard of Leslie Smith. Midway point of the first.
Smith had landed that right hand, but Cyborg was
Yes! Let's get 3 on top! Leslie, 3 on top now! Let's go! Keep climbing up the wall! Keep climbing up the cage!
And she's coming off her first career submission win in her first title defense. Submitting Ali Blanco via rear naked choke at Bellator 249 last October. Smith has never been submitted.
Now let's climb to the head. Let's get the underhook. Nice. Too high. Hold on. Don't let her up. Don't breathe you. Back elbow. Let's see back elbow. Don't breathe you. Elbow. Left elbow. Throw it. Throw your left elbow.
Leslie
Yes, kid. Keep throwing that elbow. He does that. Keep the leg out. Elbow. Every side. Left elbow. One more. One more. One more. One more. right, lay it down hard. Let's go. Stay down. Stay down. Control that distance, lad. Control that distance. Yes, on pain. Hey, vertical.
Trying to navigate the landmine. Trying to close the distance against
You got 30 seconds. Who's there? Let's use it. Who's there? That commander. Right to the body. Left hand. 3 points. 3 points. Yes. Elbow. 20 seconds. 15. 20 seconds. Calm him, Chris. Hold on distance. 10 seconds.
As we come to the end of the first round of this Bellator Featherweight Championship affair, in the midst of the rematch between Cris Cyborg and Leslie Smith as round 2 begins.
She's starting to
1 minute ice, now she's coming after
take a toll because she's accepting a lot of damage. Now she's still fighting hard, but she needs to slow that progression down.
She's Cris Cyborg in the cage. Outside of the cage.
Don't get straight. Stay in there. Come over in. Stay in there. Stay long.
The life of a champion.
Yes, stay in there. Hold her, Leslie. Hold her good. Yeah, you're good. You got 30 seconds, Leslie. You got 30 seconds. Yes, get up there. Take control. Elbow, Leslie. Get ready for your elbow. All right, Chris. Block, Who's there? Block, Tyson, how you checking, Leslie? After who's there? Come back to Tyson.
All these things start to add up.
10 seconds. Who's that commander?
All of a sudden, your body just starts to shut down.
Second round for the champion, Will Smith again. Right at the bell.
Let's go, fight.
And now the bell goes to begin round 3. The champion in the red gloves, the challenger in the blue gloves.
Go the distance.
Cyborg again looking to maybe try to block. Catch it.
Good job, Les. Your kicks are working well. Set him up with strikes. They're working well. Pull her hand down and kick.
By Leslie Smith, it gets her back to her feet.
Leslie Smith sights. Sharp jab.
There's just a
Yeah. Let's go.
Right.
Who's there?
Combination. Another jab.
Yes. Elbow.
Beats a knee to the midsection.
Back to the kick. Control that distance. He's coming at you. Control that distance. Yeah.
Your strike stats right now. 22 of 100 for Leslie Smith. 86.
Yeah. Keep going, Leslie. Back up.
Cris Cyborg.
Go on. You are submission.
Leslie Smith.
Let's go. Attack that arm, Kimura. Let's go. Attack that. Go.
Don't let her get in there.
Baby, go. 20 seconds. Go, Leslie. Go.
Okay, Chris, stay there. You got 10 seconds.
Let's go. 20 seconds. Go.
Excuse me, John.
Grab your shorts,
Another
Chris.
one of my former
Grab your
broadcast
skirt.
partners.
Grab your skirt. You can grab your skirt.
Probably the best round for Leslie Smith. She really was competitive around.
Let's go, fight, lady.
Kicking off the championship rounds here against the challenger Leslie Smith.
Take your time, Les. Take your time.
For the
Roll in.
Bellator Featherweight title.
Patient.
Now give me something to help this down.
Let's go, Leslie. Up kick. Up kick. Power to the guard. Stay up, Les. Elbow.
Feeding. Series of left hands, and yet Leslie Smith able to circle out and reset in the center of the cage.
You have to be so impressed with Leslie Smith and her just remaining calm in bad situations.
Take it out. Take it out.
To the ground. You see her move herself to the cage so she can get herself up cleanly. Just like Leslie Smith was saying, no one is invincible. Everybody can be hurt. Shit. Just like Leslie Smith.
Rock and go. Rock and go. Fire truck. Rock and go. Fire truck.
Take a shot inside cap.
Guillotine, get that. Work it. Stay on that. Climb up the cage. Climb up the cage. You got that, Les. Stay on it.
Good work. Khabib, you got 30 seconds. Keep going. Get to work.
Dude,
Watch the eyes.
Come on, worry about stand up and power. Now she will take you down onto the ground and use her good body position, her base, her balance, and even go for submissions.
Yep. Now
she's a very good fighter.
There you go. You gotta get your hand inside. See how she's inside with the frame?
Leslie Smith is very good on the ground. She's had a
There
lot
you
of
go.
training
Give
with
me
the
the
Diaz
ball.
brothers, with Gil
5
Melendez there,
seconds.
Cesar Gracie, all of them. She knows what she's doing down here. It's just the strength and technique of Cyborg is outstanding.
To this 5 minutes for Leslie Smith.
Bang, bang,
Can
control the
she
distance.
record the upset? Again, Cyborg catches the kick, delivers the right hand. A minute gone in the final round. High kick
You gotta come back.
scores
I
for
need
the
more
champion.
output. Let her have too much time to recover.
Put that pressure.
Yeah, stay on her. Let her have time.
Let's go.
Tyson, why you staying on her? Tyson,
Times it, secures the takedown, and immediately the veteran Smith looking to utilize the cage.
Smart, put her feet on the cage. Very smart by Cris. Start spin her feet right off of it.
Into side control and
Keep going, Les. Keep going. Keep going, Les. Keep going. Back to your knees.
down from the champion.
Stay on there, Les.
Smith able
Stay
to
on
get
there.
back up to
Fire
her
drop. Fire
from the
drop.
tie plum and then
Good work,
an inside
Krista.
low kick, but moral victory for Smith.
Leslie Smith
Good work.
is so damn tough.
Serving wherever they send her family.
gotta find time.
Take, come back. Come back.
Against one of the
Yeah,
best.
take, come back. Come on, let's go. Get in there. Yes, get in there.
She is
Take it to her, Les.
shot. She's still standing,
You got 2 minutes.
but she's going to have to do a hell of a lot more if she wants to walk out of the fight.
2 minutes, Les. Let's get it.
Do a hell of a lot more if she wants to walk out of the
2
fight.
minutes, Les. Let's get it. Yes, take some rest. You want to move? Yeah, sister, let's go. Let's go.
I think that was a belch break.
It definitely was. Listen, that's why
Tyson, you hurt her belly.
Yeah, go. Get in there, Les. Take the time.
You hurt her burping. Put the knee right in her stomach. Yeah.
Beats burpees, that's all I know. As
Punch,
a minute and
Les.
34 is left here in the
Punch,
fifth and
punch.
final
Yeah,
round.
go off the cage. Sit down hard on that.
Is this
Don't
fight
let him
going
sit down hard.
dramatically?
Go. Keep going with
Cris
it.
Cyborg
Keep holding it.
goes to a second
Get
successful
with it.
title
Roll.
defense.
Grab it again, Les.
Fire truck again. Let's play it safe. 60 seconds, Cris.
Cris Cyborg came into tonight's fight with
You got one left. Double jab straight. Sit down on it, Les. Be hard combo. Sit down on it.
Hands up, Leslie. Hands up.
Sit down on it. Yeah, let's go.
against one of the veteran Leslie Smith, 151 strength.
Leslie Smith may not
Tyson after that headshot
with the belt and winning tonight, but she's definitely redeemed herself as far as what occurred in that first fight. How she thought it was stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, in the fifth and final round, referee Dan Rigliotta waves off the contest due to unanswered strikes. The official time, 4 minutes 51 seconds of that round, number 5 for the winner by TKO, and still Bellator Featherweight World Champion Cris Cyborg.
Coach has gone over the rules in the back. There were no final questions from you, Blue. There were no final questions from you, Red. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. I'm not ready to fight.
In 6-year career, the bell, round number 1. Immediately, Cyborg stalking Kavanaugh, rattling her with the right hand, and Kavanaugh firing back, but Cyborg looking to score that early takedown, working with Antonio McGee, and Kavanaugh predicted that Cyborg would go for an early takedown.
Well, that's what she does. Look, exactly what you saw Cris do. She blitzes in, forces her opponent to the cage. She'll land some good knees here, work on her, and then kind of break away, and then you're going to see her make that blitz again. She likes doing that in the first round to break her opponent down.
Cyborg has recorded 10 wins via first-round knockout. Knee to the midsection, another knee, the separation, and the left and right. Cyborg opening up on Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh trying to fire back.
Kavanaugh not being able to get the range based upon her back being against the cage.
Kavanaugh's coach, no relation to her. John Kavanagh saying in MMA it's all about becoming comfortable in uncomfortable situations. It doesn't get much more uncomfortable than being in there with one of the greatest in Cris Cyborg.
Now, right there, what you see, Kavanaugh moving, using lateral movement. Don't allow Cris to throw that blitz and get you against the cage.
Statement in round one. Mamma mia!
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the end comes 1 minute 32 seconds into round number one. The winner by knockout and still Bellator Featherweight World Champion, Cris Cyborg.
Take a look right there, 69-inch reach for Cris Cyborg, 64.5. This is why I say Arlene Blencowe needs to step into that zone and put her hands on Cyborg.
Okay, fighters, we've gone over the rules in the back. There were no final questions from you, Blue. There were no final questions from you, Red. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. I'm not ready to fight.
It's the rematch between the champion and the #1 contender.
Cyborg being very nice and tight with her defense.
Three-punch combination. Blanco tries to respond. Cyborg's corner, imploring her to stay with the jab. Blanco swinging with that right hand. Calf kick by Cyborg. Front kick and Blanco counter right, and Cyborg coming forward, sitting down on her punches.
That was a nice kick right up between the guard by Cyborg, and then she opened up with that attack.
Blanco has never been knocked out, but she feels the 1-2 from Cyborg, then she closes the gap, they clinch, and Cyborg backs Blanco to the fence. And Blanco looking to turn the tables. Battle for positioning.
Great head position by Cyborg. You saw how she was using her head to keep Arlene's face up. Now it's down, but still she's got good head control. The cage if she can.
And there's Blanco trying to turn the tables. There's a separation. Cyborg on the attack. Blanco able to escape, retreat, reset. High kick by Cyborg. And the body kick by Cyborg. Counter right hand by Blanco. Just over 2 minutes left in the first. There's a right hand that lands for Blanco. They clinch.
That was a nice right hand by Arlene. She's got to get some respect here. Got to make Cyborg realize she can't just go about anything she wants.
Oh, the right hand! Down goes Blanco! Round and pound from Cyborg. And Blanco giving up her back. Are we going to see deja vu all over again?
She got her with that shot, big time. A lot of time left in the round, Moro.
Yep, and Cyborg recorded her first submission win. Oh, what an elbow from Blanco via rear naked choke, but that came in the second round of their first meeting, and she is threatening to stop Blanco. Oh, and a knee to a grounded opponent, John.
She was looking to knee the chest area.
Can't hear in the face when she's down. I know.
Let's take a look to see, did that hit Arlene Blencowe? You cannot knee the head or face of a grounded opponent.
Got a little time here.
Take a look, we'll see where this lands. Yeah, it touched her, no doubt about it. Not a smart attack.
You've got a reasonable amount of time if you like to take it.
Marlene's hand blocked a lot of it, but again, you gotta be careful with what you're doing. You're responsible for your tools.
Listen, I know you're excited, right? You still need to pay attention to what we're doing here. You know she's down. I told you she's down.
So you can see it doesn't really, it's more of Arlene Blenco's hand moving her head, but still, if you're Cris Cyborg, that's not worth you going after that strike.
You good? Come here. No. Come here, please. Fighter, please to the center. Come here.
Action about to resume as referee Jason Herzog takes a point away from Cris Cyborg.
Let's go.
Here in the first round where Cyborg was threatening to finish the fight. Blanco comes in and is taken down by Cyborg. Right into...
she's got her arm triangle going right now. If she can get that leg pass, Arlene needs to really hold on to the leg of Cyborg.
And of Blanco's 5 losses, all of them have come via submission.
Nice job by Blanco to get it back.
45 seconds left in the opening round. Dominated by Cris Cyborg, dropping Blanco. Ran for the submission and then had a point deducted for kneeing the grounded Blanco, who was sent backpedaling after that punch, and there's a head kick from Cyborg. Blanco willing to take risks, and she needs to, John, closing the gap, trying to find a way to land that punch. And there's another kick and punch in the right hand from Blanco. She's game. But an eventful opening round, Big John McCarthy. She's backing up and gets caught with the right from Cyborg.
Cris has been very successful with that front teep kick, coming straight up to the guard.
And Cyborg timing that opportunity to clinch and now delivering knees to Blanco along the fence.
Been absolutely remarkable if you take a look at what she's done throughout her career, and she is a better fighter now by far than she was earlier on. She's a smarter fighter. She gets into her opponent at times. She does damage like she's doing right here on the inside.
Blanco escapes.
Blanco cut also.
Right hand counter that landed for Blanco. Oh, and Blanco and Cyborg now beginning to open up. And Blanco has landed a couple of those shots.
And this is the kind of fight I thought Arlene Blanco needed to get into to be able to take Cris out of her realm and make her get to that past Cris Cyborg berserker mode.
Final 30 seconds of the second. The jab splits the guard of Blanco. And both of them looking to hit that one-hitter quitter.
But notice 5-shot combo by Cris Cyborg instead of just the 1 or the 1-2.
Bloody second round of action in this main event for the Bellator Featherweight Championship.
Are you ready? Fight!
Round number 3. Oh, the left hook, knocking Cyborg off balance. Off balance, but it landed.
Still. And you can take a look at the left eye of Cris Cyborg. It is starting to swell up. Both ladies showing the effect of this fight so far. Both have damage on them.
There's that front kick again by Cyborg, getting closer and closer. 1-2. submission combo. Left eye and the blood not going into her eye fortuitously, but
blood's gonna, if you want it to go anywhere, it's doing exactly what you want, running down the side, not affecting her vision.
Front kick and then the calf kick inside to the lead leg of Blanco. Blanco tries a rush in. Brutal battle here with just over half a minute remaining in the third for the Bellator MMA Featherweight Championship. The feints, trying to set traps, trying to get the other to bite. Counter right over the top lands for Blanco.
Arlene Blanco fighting really hard right now. Really trying to counter. Come forward at times, press against Cris. She's doing everything she can.
Blood and guts through 3 rounds. Oh, ho, ho. Cyborg's fellow Brazilian Bellator vet, Lyoto Machida, knows a thing or two about front kick knockouts. Arlene Blanco firing up the crowd here in Hawaii. And why not? She's made it to the championship rounds in the rematch against Cris Cyborg. Australian contingent with chants of oi, oi, oi in the crowd. So, again, we reminded people that her children are with her.
What belief, confidence, do.
Nice exchange. And again, off balance, but Cyborg knocked backwards, and fans will respond to anything. And again, John, both of them landing, and there's a headlock attempt, back elbow, and what a suplex by Cris Cyborg, showcasing another wrinkle to her evolving game.
And this is what I was talking about, the fact that she hadn't gone back to this ground attack when she was so successful in the first match.
And she's inside control with 3 minutes left in the 4th round. Cyborg grinding away on top position, sapping the energy out of the challenger, Blanco. Blanco trying to get back up to her feet, but being controlled by Cyborg.
Cyborg with that underhook, lets her up.
Yeah, Blanco does get back to her feet, John. And a bloody mess, landing or throwing the right hand.
Look at you with the gum shield reference.
5th and final round. Cris Cyborg TKO Leslie Smith at 4:51 of the 5th round. And here she is in the 5th with Arlene Blanco.
Very tough when you're Arlene Blanco with all the shots you take, and you're still moving your head, trying to get yourself in a position where you're not going to be hit. Her front leg is stiff right now. It's taking a lot of abuse.
Jab lands for Cyborg. Oh, spinning back kick by Cyborg, and a huge advance. Blanco says, hey, you can do it, so can I. Responding in kind in that front kick, followed by the jab from Cyborg. Yes, there it is, on cue. And there's a left hook that rattled Blanco momentarily.
Beautiful right hand to the left hook.
Blanco not going away quietly into the good night, although Cyborg, well, Blanco says, stand in the middle with me.
Well, if there's any place that loves to see something like that, it's Hawaii, because all these fans love when someone says, come on, right now in the middle here, let's scrap.
And let's let the crowd take us to the end of this fight. smart, effective game plan, John, for the champion, and a gutsy effort for Arlene Blencowe as she pushes Cris Cyborg to the full 5 rounds for the first time here in Bellator MMA.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance in tonight's main event, we go now to your 3 judges at cage side. All 3, Michael Bell, Brian Miner, and Sal D'Amato. Seated exactly the same at 49 to 45. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision and still Bellator Featherweight World Champion Cris Cyborg.
For the 5th time in her career, Cris Cyborg goes the distance, a perfect 5-0 now, and a special moment here between Cyborg and Blencowe. The championship fight in the featherweight division. Cris Cyborg, the champion. Kat Zingano, the #1 contender.
Yeah, you can take a look at everything here, but it is that 26-2 for Cris Cyborg, 14-4. Both women are just outstanding in their skill sets of MMA.
All right, guys, you got your instructions in the locker room. Obey my commands at all times. Correct yourself at all times. You want to touch gloves, do it now. Go back to your corners and come out swinging.
And becoming a champion. The bell in round #1.
Well, I always say that people can sit there and say whatever they want. The best part about fighting is eventually you get to get in the cage and punch them in the face.
Counter right hand by Cyborg, winding up quickly. Inside low kick by Zingano as she looks for the takedown and then gets caught with the left hook on the chin as Cyborg, they rolled right through, and of course Cyborg's been working on her wrestling, has an underrated ground game, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and she really changed after losing to Amanda Nunes in just 51 seconds. She's actually become a smarter and more evolved striker as champion.
No doubt about it. We talk about all the time, but Cris used to be what we call a berserker. She would hurt someone, just go, guns blazing out and be open for counter shots. Now you're going to actually hear her corner. You're going to yell at her, blue head, blue head, blue head, because that's to cool down, take your time, be a smart fighter, and just do your thing intelligently.
Zingano looking to clinch, and Zingano's had success in the clinching against the cage, but against someone like Cyborg. Cyborg very savvy in those departments as well. And Cyborg off to a aggressive start, but smart aggression.
No, very smart aggression, and the Cat has taken a couple of big shots already. So, taking a look at what's going on in the cage right now, this is Cris Cyborg's fight as far as what she wants. She wants, go ahead, you want to try to take me down? Every time you try to take me down, I'm going to make you pay.
The only time that Kat Zingano's been knocked out was against Megan Anderson. That was due to the eye injury, though, in December 2018. And now Zingano has her in trouble. Ground and pound from Cyborg. Zingano was turtling up there momentarily, finally back to her feet.
When you talk about that fight with Megan Anderson, that was a TKO victory, but it had nothing to do with her being knocked out. It was an injury to her eye.
Never been finished due to strikes. Although that was... There's a kick by Zingano to the body of Cyborg. Cyborg with 11 first-round knockout wins on her resume as we reach the midpoint of this first round. From Zingano, using it to set up, trying to get the fight to the ground. Instead, she's a knee from Cyborg.
Cris looking very strong inside the cage.
Zingano already over 3 in the takedown department with 2 minutes left in the first round.
Doesn't do a whole lot for your confidence factor. All a Cat can do is just continue on. If you fail, go after it again.
She comes off that spirited scrap with Leah McCourt that we had talked about, an incredible display of guts and skills, the reversals, the scrambles, but So far, she has been denied by Cris Cyborg when it comes to taking this fight to the ground. Lands it right. There's a right hand from Cyborg that momentarily bothered Zingano. Zingano's hands are low, her face is exposed. And Cyborg's landed a couple of right hands. And the right hand, again, lands on Zingano. This body kick by the challenger, level change, and Cyborg ends up on top. Ground and pound, hammer fist from the champion. It's over. Cris Cyborg with her 12th first-round knockout finish. Cris Cyborg remains Bellator Featherweight champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, your official time, 4 minutes. 1 second. Knockout and still Bellator Featherweight World Champion Cris Cyborg.
Zingano gracious in defeat, applauding the featherweight champion Cris Cyborg, an absolute legend. It's now 27-2 with 1 no contest